Hi, I'm Meg Snyder, editor of Pharmaceutical Processing. I am here with Russ Soma of Somatech LLC. It is end of day 2 of INTERPHEX. So Russ, how was today? INTERPHEX Live.
I thought yesterday was a killer. I mean, today was even better. I got to tell you, Meg, some of the topics that we had up on the sessions, they just built on each other. Continuous process continued to resonate with all of the folks here. Single-use technology. Stuff was there. It was not only from the small molecule side, the biopharm guys all stood up. They had a lot to talk about. In fact, the amazing part was the last topic we were on was facility upgrades and design. Believe it or not, single use came up as a forerunner there on how you drive facility upgrades. So yeah, I think we picked some of the best technology topics we have. It was, what a day. Very, very good.
So for some of those repeat topics like continuous processing and single-use technologies, were there some new questions or things discussed today that weren't touched on yesterday?
Well, I see the two differences. The continuous process in the small molecule world is slightly different than it is in the large molecule world. So what we did for our folks while we were talking was try to draw some analogies here. So we did get some questions in there for clarification. Other than that, it was like a new territory. It was fabulous.
And one of the sessions today was on CMOs and controlled substances. What were some of the things that was discussed during that session?
Well, the objective there, Meg, is that we tried to make sure that everybody was here understood all of the pitfalls. So we had owner companies. Pfizer was here. We talked about that. We also had folks that are CMOs. And believe it or not, there are delays and problems that, if you're not used to dealing with controlled substances, can create and derail a project as bad as, bad science. So we tried to make sure it was informative. We talked about regulations globally. We got down to so far as the minutia of reading and checking people's lists to make sure that when you go to somebody, what you want to work on is on the guy's list. So yeah, we got into it.
Okay.
Then we packed it into 45 minutes.
Man, that sounds like a feat right there.
Yeah, I ran out of breath.
And I know one of the other discussions was on biosimilars. What were some of the questions or things that people were really interested in hearing about?
The biosimilars was, one thing is we had, if you remember, we talked about it last year. And so we said, okay, so it's a year later. And lo and behold, there was a lot of stuff that was new. So yeah, there was a lot of new questions. Again, once we've defined it and we talked about the business process, we talked about who's doing what are business opportunities, what things people have to be. One of the aspects, and I think that was elevated up, was what skill sets do you have to have if you just don't casually walk into this? Who do you have to hire to make this happen? And believe it or not, it got back to continuous process and single use.
Hot topic. Hot topic of 2016.
I couldn't shake it.
Now, as far as, audience interaction and interest, what were some of the most interesting, beyond continuous processing, topics to the audience? Like, what did they want to hear and talk about? What was the best received today?
I think one of the things was on facility design. What can we as an industry do to move things ahead? Are we actually leveraging our knowledge from the past? It's incredible because this builds on things that you and I have talked about in the past, which is quality by design. Not so sure we got that connection, but certainly I made it. So I made sure that we asked the questions in that area. Again, knowledge, institutionalization, understanding of processes to that point. So it was good.
And I bet you for facility design, there's going to be discussions about serialization and implementing these new technologies into these facilities. Was, how was that kind of discussion today?
Well, the serialization, that discussion was particularly interesting because as in the controlled substances, there are hidden delays in there which people don't anticipate. There's months worth of setup, there's regulations you have to fulfill, but more importantly, you got to get the business structure around these things. And I think there was a lot of oh my gods here because it was actually the regulatory deadline is November of next year. So I think there was so we did our job. We made sure they were aware of it. We got the news out, but there was a lot of good information exchanged on that. So.
Yeah, and with the ultimate deadline of 2023, we gotta get things moving.
Well, we try to ease them into it. Like this isn't track and trace; it's more serialization. But I think the oh my god was there.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. We're looking forward to a great day 3 tomorrow.
It was a blast. Thanks, Meg.
Thanks.
Bye.